2657. That's 321-396-2657.
Everybody knows that Bob Wines is literally the tree king. He has more trees, more variety, more sizes, and of course, the lowest prices on trees every day. But right now, during the best tree planting time of the year, Bob Wines has lowered the prices even more. You can buy large trees for as little as $49.99, and you get a second tree just like it for half price. All fruit trees at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens are half price this week. And Bob has a huge selection of ornamental blooming trees like gardenia, bottlebrush, roses, azaleas, and hydrangea trees. These are beauties, and they're regularly $139. But this week, Bob is selling them for just $89.99. Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, just east of Lake Weir Avenue. They're open daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Hey, did you know the Ocala Community Credit Union started in 1953 and it's a 5-star credit union? They serve Ocala, Bellevue, Silver Springs, Anthony, and Denellen. Plus is located right here on 36th Avenue next to the Army Reserve. Ocala Community Credit Union is here for your mortgage needs and even your back-to-school loans. Give them a try. Call him, 352-629-7596. Ocala Community Credit Union, federally insured by the NCUA, and equal housing opportunity lender.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front-end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check ocalabusinessleaders.com.
All right. Thank you, Joe. 23 minutes before 8 o'clock. Nice looking Monday morning. And in the studio, Eddie Leedy is here. He is a candidate for the Marion County Commission. And we wanted to allow him to have a chance to let you get to know him. District 4, right? Is
yes,
it
sir.
District or seat?
It's District 4.
District 4. It's always confusing to me. Sometimes it's district, seat, group. There's always something different. I think the judges are groups, right?
They are.
Yeah.
And then the commission, there's 5 districts for the commission.
So thank you for coming in. Sorry. All right. So did you grow up here?
I did. I was born and raised here in Marion County, born at what was then Monroe Hospital and raised in the north end of the county.
Is that right? And have you ever run for office before?
I have never run for office. I've helped others
okay.
to run for office. But working for an elected official for 34 years.
Can you say who you worked for?
I worked for, Don Moreland hired me.
Oh, wow.
And worked for Ken Ergel, Ed Dean.
Oh, were you a deputy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
I at retirement after 34 years, I was a captain when I retired from there.
All those men you mentioned are people I admire. So.
Yes.
Wow. So, and you worked as a deputy for how long?
I was at the sheriff's office, excuse me, for 34 years.
34 years. You don't look old enough.
I went to work there when I was 18. Don Moreland took a chance on me.
Oh, my God. He's a nice guy, isn't he?
He is.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you for coming in. And I heard Robin thank you for your service. So you're a veteran?
Thank you. She was thanking me for my 34 years in law enforcement.
Okay. Well, that's service too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So what exactly was the tipping point for you? What made you want to run for the county commission?
There were several things. One, the incumbent had run on term limits. So at the time that I filed, I was not aware that he was actually going to try to seek a third term.
Oh, okay.
I've, born and raised here, always paid attention to local county government, always loved this county, wanted to help serve and protect it, and started my candidacy a year and a half ago.
So Robin's notes say you want to be a proactive county commissioner. What things would you be proactive about?
Well, there's several things. I see a trend with the county commission in District 4 of being more reactive than proactive. And there's, in my opinion, there's some basic requirements of a county commissioner to run this county. And it's a huge task, and you have to watch what's going on. I mean, our animal shelter reform, Marion County got themselves in a position where we have the highest euthanasia rate in the state of Florida.
How do you know that?
Our county fire department, at one point, 40% of the daily shift was on mandatory overtime. We lost almost 70 firefighter paramedics to surrounding counties and agencies. And I think some of this could have been avoided if we'd have paid a little more attention to what was going on around us. You know, Marion County as a whole has been a training ground for employees. We hire them, we train them, we invest, and then they virtually go anywhere and get a job. So I think we need to be proactive, making sure our pay scale's where it needs to be, that we're, you know, good servants of the animals and stewards for them. And, you know, this coastal connector that was coming through Marion County, the toll road, we actually had leaders here in Marion County that had sat on that board for over 2 years.
Oh, no.
So we were aware that there was a coastal connector. Now, we didn't necessarily know where the routes were going to be on the map. But myself, as far as I'm concerned, no routes into Marion County are acceptable to me. With our infrastructure being what it is, it definitely would not enhance it. It would only stress it. So I've said right from the beginning that I was against it. My opponent said he would not close the door on that conversation. And the citizens of Marion County overwhelmingly are not for it. And I think, you know, if you serve the people, that's who you need to listen to.
I hear what you're saying there. Yeah, we say that all the time. If you're elected into office and you disagree with your constituency, how do you vote? You know, and I'm glad to hear you say you vote the way the constituency wants you to vote.
Absolutely, they're the ones that put you there.
Yeah. That's a tough one, though. The congestion on I-75 is a little bit heavy. Can you talk about that? Is there another solution to the problem?
There is. They had done, before the coastal connector, they had done an I-75 study. They put a task force together. And their findings basically was an existing right-of-way already there. Go in and widen those lanes in those areas where the congestion is the heaviest, and get the flow going. For whatever reason, FDOT never approached doing anything the task force asked, and immediately went to the toll road. You know, there's a lot of different theories as to why that happened, and of course, with it being a political year, they've postponed it. And which I say they didn't complete the sentence. It's postponed it till after the election.
In the news, every once in a while, there's a story about the Marion County School Board and the Marion County Commission disagreeing on things like water runoff and other things. I can't remember exactly what. Do you have any thoughts on that relationship between the school board and the commission?
I think currently they have a pretty good relationship. In fact, the county commission is going to absorb some of the cost for the sheriff's office to put the school resource officers into the school.
That's a good thing.
You know, the governor mandated that and then didn't properly fund it. So it had to be made up somewhere. So the commission is going to pick up some of that expense that the school board won't have to hire those deputies. And as I understand it, when school's in, because it's not a 12-month deal, when school's in, the school board will pay for the deputies. And then when they're out, the sheriff generally takes that manpower and puts it back into the road or wherever he has a deficiency. And at that time, the county will pay for them.
One of the other things is reasonable and responsible growth for our county. Both Robin and I come from larger cities, and we enjoy those larger cities. But I've always thought, why do people complain when they move to a small town or a small county that it's small? I often wondered about that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with big towns, but there's also a reason people move to small areas. So I don't know if you're agreeing with where I'm going with that, but
I do. You know, Marion County is, for the most part, still a rural county.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of what attracts so many people here.
Yeah.
And then you hear politicians all the time say, we don't want to become another Orlando. And my response to that is I don't think Orlando wanted to be another Orlando. And what I mean by that is the crime rate and the congestion. They have a thriving economy down there, but there's also a lot of compromises when you get that. I see Marion County on a trend of commerce. And what I mean by that is all the commerce parks wanting to come here. We're centrally located.
Yeah.
We have the FedEx, Chewy, and AutoZone here in Ocala. Now they're at the McGinley property fixing to put another commerce park there. And then I understand Duke Energy up on Highway 326 is fixing to put a commerce park there. Well, it obviously gives us jobs, but it also puts us vulnerable to things like the Coastal Connector. When you have all this commerce, and you always usually call it interstate commerce, then they're going to want more routes in there to move this.
Yeah, one of the things too is whenever we talk, I don't know if you want to talk about the environment, but the water specifically in the environment category often is the problems we have with our water often is attributed to the increase in population. There's more people drawing from the aquifer.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. It's a passion of mine. I was mentored by older men that when I was a kid, the conversation was about water. So there's a lot of things that go into that. One, you've got to have vacant land to recharge the aquifer. So when you get the rainfall, there's no contaminants at the surface, and that water can go back into the aquifer and recharge it. The other is, the commercial pumps that they put in, and the aquifer is kind of sealed for the most part. So when you start pumping out of a 6-inch pipe, it draws. And it pulls water.
Sure.
So if you have contaminants in another place, then you start moving that aquifer around. I think that the Silver Springs Bottled Water Company hauls water out right by one of our Magnitude Springs.
Right.
Private individual owns that water tower there in Silver Springs, and they truck water there night and day. And so I've always paid attention to the aquifer. I've actually met with several of our well drillers here in Marion County, had conversations with them. Their opinion is if we stay where we're at, and what I mean by that, we have the rural land, places for the aquifer to recharge, we have a sustainable amount of water for Marion County. But the issue is everybody outside of Marion County, especially South Florida, wants to get their hands on our waters.
Yeah, and that would require a strong county commission as far as our county is concerned.
Correct.
I mean, we're nothing that we can't help it if they grab it from Citrus County or the other county. So let's just hope that their county commissions are strong also.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that there's so much. There are so many alternatives. I don't know why they have to pump the water. The desalinization has been something I've heard about for decades. Whether it's feasible, I don't know, but I've heard about it. It seems like the more progress we make with technology, the easier that becomes to do.
Yes, sir. There's also in Florida 2 aquifers. There's the aquifer that's around 60 to 100 feet, and then down to 1,000 and below as a second aquifer. In fact, the city of Ocala St. John said they were at the maximum flow rate, and they had to find an additional source of water. And they actually were able to tap into the second aquifer and tested the water and seen it was 2 complete different makeups, which allowed them then to pump from that aquifer.
Wow. I wasn't aware of that. All right, I wanted to give you a chance to speak without me talking to you. So if you want to address the listeners, and then after that, we talked before we went on the air. I've got my silly left field questions for you, okay?
All right, looking forward to it. All right, thank you. I'm Eddie Leedy. I was born and raised here in Marion County. Started my civil service when I was 18 years old, worked 34 years at the Marion County Sheriff's Office, worked myself up to the rank of captain. At the time of retirement, I was the SWAT commander, the mounted unit commander, patrol watch commander. During my tenure there, I also supervised the HIDA drug unit, the MADIT drug unit, and received numerous medals of accommodation, 2 medals of distinction, and a Medal of Valor while I was at the Sheriff's Office. For 34 years, I had the honor and privilege of protecting the citizens of Marion County. On August 28th, I asked that you give me the opportunity to protect Marion County, protect its beauty, protect its water, the quality of life that we have here in Marion County. I will run on term limits. I will not do more than 2 terms. And if you would support me, I will not disappoint you.
Very well said. Nice. All right. This is the silly part. This is the part you can edit out later on when you use.
I can't get it wrong.
You can't get it wrong. That's exactly right. All right. Ready?
Yes, sir.
The first one: New England or England?
New England.
Are you familiar with New England?
Yes.
Yeah. You go up there. Okay. This is silly. This is maybe the silliest one I ever wrote. Heads or tails?
Heads.
And the last one: oysters or Angus beef?
Ooh, that's almost a tie, but I'm gonna go with Angus beef.
Well, thank you. That was fun. I know it's hectic when you're running for office, so
it is.
I can tell. Good luck with everything, Eddie, and thank you for coming in here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
This interview will be up as a podcast probably right away, because right now it's live on YouTube, and the way we're doing it now, it just goes there, I think, instantly. So it should be there if you want to share it on your Facebook page or however else you want to share it. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Eddie. Nice to meet you. We will take a little break and be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Can you believe it? School's about to start.
Our teachers and school staff deserve a thank you and a nice welcome back to school.
Honey Baked Ham has a special boxed lunch offer to help schools provide the very best for the very best.
Their special box lunch offer is everything you need for a meal. A sandwich, chips, pickle, cookie, and bottled water or canned soda, all for one price.
And they deliver. Call them now for details. Honey Baked Ham of Ocala, 352-861-0011.
That's 352-861-0011.
The sound of the bat cracking, the crowd cheering, the smell of overpriced but tasty hot dogs, the memories that will last a lifetime of your first baseball game with little Johnny. Your team wins. It was a great night until you get home. It's 9 p.m. and your wife says you have no water.
We have no water.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Rule number 1, don't panic. Remain calm. Okay, that's 2 rules.
We don't have time for jokes, funny man.
Okay, think back. On the way home, you heard a radio commercial.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Eureka. You saved the day. You remembered that Mike Scott Plumbing doesn't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. You are a genius.
Hey, Mr. Genius, did you remember the phone number?
Of course you did. Remember, you're a genius. 352-237-2888. Because at Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it. Even if water's not running through it at this particular moment. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. A gunman who opened fire at a back-to-school event in Titusville is in critical condition after a bystander who was licensed to carry a firearm shot the gunman before he had a chance to hurt any of the attendees. No other injuries were reported. Metal detectors will not be installed for the start of classes at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. The reason is unclear. A Polk County woman and her live-in boyfriend have been charged in the death of the woman's 2-year-old son. A heroic act by a mall security officer was caught on video at a Palm Beach Gardens mall as the baby nearly choked to death. A 94-year-old Daytona Beach veteran has finally received the medals he earned for serving as a pilot during World War II. And SeaWorld Orlando will keep on celebrating beer with a new festival set for November. The festival follows the park's free beer promotion going on through September 2nd, where guests enjoy 2 beers per visit at Mama's Pretzel Kitchen. And that is your news brief from The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Monday, partly sunny, high 88 to 92. Monday night, patchy clouds, low 72 to 80. Tuesday, partly sunny, a spotty thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 88 to 92. Wednesday, sunshine and some clouds, a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, high 91 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Steve Travis.
All right, 7 minutes before 8 o'clock. Not a bad looking Monday morning. Nice out there, huh? Boy, it's interesting to get to know the candidates, isn't it, Robin?
Oh, it is. It's very, very interesting. I'm so glad we have this opportunity.
And for those of you who want to share any of the interviews we've done with the local candidates, you are always, of course, invited to do that.